Welcome back to the Chirpin podcast. This is episode 10, and today we're going to go over the Phillies series. Talk about a couple headlines from the games as well. The first thing I want to talk about is a big headline coming out of Monday's game. Masyn Wynn's injury. He has some back spasms. They put him on the 10-day injured list on Saturday, with the Cardinals quoted as they would prefer him to rest and rehabilitate his back over the next 10 days, just so the injury doesn't linger throughout the season. Nolan Gorman was activated in replace of Wynn. So this injury led into one of the more funnier things that we've seen so far this season. Masyn Wynn's injury left second base in question. So the Cardinals decided to put Pedro Pages out there. Pages has never played second base in the big leagues, nor in the minor leagues, not even in high school. You have to go all the way back to when he was 11 years old to the last time that he played second base. He borrowed a glove from Brendan Donovan, and he actually handled two ground balls. He was joking a little bit with the media and said, I guess I'm a gold glover now. He's a catcher playing second base. It doesn't happen often, so it's good to see he's having fun with it. I thought it was pretty funny. Just something I kind of wanted to touch base on in the podcast because you don't see that often, a catcher playing second base. Friday's game was started by Palante, and if I had mistakenly said Monday, that was my fault. I'm used to doing the weekly updates instead of doing each series, so that's my fault. Friday's game was started by Palante, and he pitched 7 innings, only giving up 2 hits, no earned runs. He walked 2, but he struck out 4. So far in this early season, Palante has had trouble with walks, but he's been able to get out of it. And a lot of that's due to his ground ball pitching. He constantly gets those grounders, so he gets a lot of double plays. He pitched 7 quality innings, and it helped the bullpen kind of reset itself after being worked. Having that off day on Thursday and then having this easy day on Friday helped that bullpen with Matan and Helsley, the only two relievers coming in for Palante. Bottom of the first inning, Palante gets into a little bit of trouble. He walks Bryce Harper and gives up a single to Kyle Schwarber. Harper even steals third base, while Schwarber steals second. Luckily, they get Castellanos to line out. Bottom of the first for the Cardinals was pretty quiet. Nupar drew a walk. The amount of walks that he has drawn so far this season is insane. This is updated with Sunday's game, but he has 12 walks already this season, which is more. He has more walks than strikeouts. The Cardinals aren't able to make anything out of his walk though, and they get out. Top of the second is when Wynn's injury happened, and Paez goes to second base. So JC went into shortstop, and Pozo came in playing catcher. The Phillies come up and go down 1-2-3, and then in the bottom of the second, the Cardinals try to start making something happen with a Burleson and Paez single. Both of them singled, but the next 3 batters get out. Top of the third, we had a 1-2-3 inning. In the bottom of the third, Newbar drew another walk. Lars Newbar stole second base, but ended up on third because of a throwing error. But the Cardinals, again, are not able to get anything started. Top of the fourth, Castellanos tries to make noise with a single, but Palante gets out of it with a Kepler strikeout. Cardinals come up, go down 1-2-3. Top of the fifth, Brandon Marsh drew a walk, and Palante threw a really bad throw over to first base on a pickoff attempt that allowed Marsh to take second. But the Phillies aren't able to make anything of it. Stott strikes out, ends the inning. Bottom of the fourth is when the scoring starts. So JC hits a single, and then Pozo hits a double, driving in JC. And Pozo so far has had a very impressive start to his Cardinals career, to the point to where it's gonna be a little sad to see him go whenever Herrera does come back. But so far in 3 games, he has a home run, 2 RBIs, a 417 batting average, a 417 on base percentage, and an 833 slugging with a 1250 OPS. Albeit it's 3 games with 12 at bats, so he can simmer down. But his minor leagues showcase that he's played fairly decent most of his career. I mean, just last year, he played in 90 games where he had 15 home runs, 54 RBIs, and a slash line of 324, 335, and 538 with an 873 OPS, 27 doubles. And I mean, he's had a season, it was in 2021, where he had 23 home runs, 74 RBIs, a slash line of 337, 352, and 622 with a 974 OPS. So he's raked, even in the minor leagues. So Pozo gets that double, drives in Sajasi. Newbar hits a single, and then a wild pitch allowed Newbar to take second. Walker and Donovan both go down on strikes. Arenado draws a walk, and then Burleson draws a walk that scores Pozo, making it 2-0. Pajes flies out to end the inning. Phillies come up and go down 1-2-3. Bottom of the sixth, Nola finally gets out of the game, but that doesn't help the Cardinals anyway. They come up and go down with only Pozo getting a single. Top of the seventh, 1-2-3 inning. Phillies have. And that is the last time we see Palante. It was a great effort all around, a very solid outing. And he's been one of the best pitchers, I think top 10 in the league since last year. He's legit. It's bottom of the seventh. Brendan Donovan gets a single, and then he steals second. The Cardinals aren't able to make anything of it. They intentionally walk Wilson, and then Baker comes in as a pinch hitter, but unfortunately flies out. Top of the eighth, Masyn comes in for Palante, and he gets a 1-2-3 inning. Bottom of the eighth, Cardinals try to get something going with a Sajasi and Pozo single, but Newbar ends up grounding into a double play, ending the inning. Top of the ninth, Trey Turner hits a single. At that point, me and probably a lot of Cardinal fans were starting to get nervous because this Phillies team can tie it up with one swing. And lo and behold, it was Bryce Harper who was coming to the plate. Housley ends up getting him to ground out. Turner advances to second, but he gets the next 2 outs, ending the game with the Cardinals winning 2-0. It was a pitcher's duel pretty much between Nola and Palante, and Palante came up ahead. It was a good pitched game. All right, Saturday's game, we got Michaelis pitching. He's only in the game for about 5 innings. He gives up only 3 hits, but still gives up 3 earned runs, 2 walks with 6 strikeouts. At some point, the Cardinals are going to have to say enough is enough with Michaelis. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like that was a horrible outing and he just needs to get DFA'd or released right now. But questions need to be asked. I mean, obviously, he's a waste of money, right? But is this waste of money now hurting the Cardinals? When he was eating innings, at least you had an excuse for the poor pitching. 5 innings isn't going to cut it. That's not eating innings. That's being a liability to your bullpen. Pull him out, put McGreevy in, and release him. That's what I'd do. I think that's what the Cardinals should do, especially if the Cardinals continue to showcase the will to fight and to be good. Top of the first inning, Michaelis gets into trouble. He gets the first 2 outs, but then Harper hits a single. He walks Schwarber and then lets Castellanos hit a double off him, scoring both Schwarber and Harper, making it 2-0. right out the gate. Kepler ended up flying out. Bottom of the first, Newbar draws another walk. The third walk of the series so far. Baker grounds into a double play, and Contreras flies out, ending the inning. Top of the second, Phillies go down similar, 1-2-3, with 2 strikeouts in the inning by Michaelis. Bottom of the second, Cardinals hit into another double play. After a Brendan Donovan single, Jordan Walker unfortunately hits a double play. Ends the inning. Top of the third, it's a 1-2-3 inning for Michaelis. Bryson Stott strikes out, making it the third strikeout of the game. Bottom of the third, Paez gets it started with the single. Scott lines out, but JC hits a single. And then Newbar hits a single, loading the bases. But Baker grounds into a double play. That moment right there, the Cardinals could have broken the game open, tied it, even, if he hit a home run, jumped up 4-2. They had quite a bit of opportunities, so the loss isn't completely on Michaelis. The offense has to be good. At this point, the offense had, I think it was 3 consecutive games where they had less than 3 runs. Yeah. So there was a lot of, and I even joked, but there was a lot of comments talking about the offense becoming feeble again. Luckily, that doesn't seem to be the case. Only time will tell. Top of the fourth, 1-2-3 inning. Michaelis gets 2 strikeouts in the inning. Bottom of the fourth, Cardinals go down 1-2-3. And top of the fifth, we got 2 outs, and then Marsh walks. Stott hits a double, making it 3-0 Phillies. And he gets Turner to strike out, ending the inning. Bottom of the fifth, Walker hits a single. Then Paez lines out. And then Phillies challenged a play, which was upheld. Victor Scott reached on a fielder's choice, and they tried to overturn that, but it didn't work out. So JC grounds into a double play. There's a lot of double plays in this game by the Cardinals that if they scored, they might have won. But so JC grounds into a double play here, and the Phillies are still up 3-0 going to the 6th inning. Top of the 6th, Matz comes in for Michaelis. Harper grounds out. Schwarber gets a walk, and then Castellanos gets a single. Looking like some trouble for Matz, but he gets the next 2 outs. Bottom of the 6th, Newbar strikes out. Baker gets a double, and then Contreras comes through, making it 3-1 Cardinals. Contreras comes through, making it 3-1 Phillies. Nato flies out, and then a wild pitch allows Contreras to go to second, but Cardinals can't make anything of it. Donovan grounds out, ends the inning. Top of the 7th, Phillies come right back and answer. Bohm hits a single. Marsh sacks him over to second. Stott flies out, but Turner hits a single, driving in the run, making a 4-1. Then Harper flew out. Bottom of the 7th, Jordan Walker strikes out. Then Paez draws a walk. Scott gets a single, but the next 2 batters get out, ending the inning. Top of the 8th inning, Schwarber gets a single, and then Castellanos gets a double. We got a man on third and second with no out. But then Matz gets a strikeout, and Munoz comes in, replacing Matz, and he gets the next 2 to strike out, ending the inning. So they worked out of that jam. Unfortunately, the offense just wasn't able to come through this game. 1-2-3 inning, basically, after a ground into a double play by Arenado, I believe the 4th in the game. Top of the 9th, it's a 1-2-3 inning for the Phillies. And bottom of 9th, 1-2-3 for the Cardinals. Phillies won it 4-1. All right, Sunday's game. Sunday's game was a bright spot and a game that kind of rejuvenated the fans and everybody into believing into this team. Sunday's game saw Liberatore pitch 6 wonderful innings, only allowing 3 hits, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts, no earned runs, and his ERA is down to a 3.93. Great pitching by Liberatore. It makes me kind of eat my words about saying, is the experiment over? I mean, it was a joke, but that was a great, it was an ace like start, to be honest with you. Top of the first inning, the Phillies go down pretty quick, only allowing a walk to Schwarber. And bottom of the first, the Cardinals can't really do anything. 1-2-3 inning. Top of the second, Liberatore gets into a little bit of trouble, allowing 2 singles, but he gets Marsh to strike out and Rojas to ground out by a bunt, ending the inning. Bottom of the second, the Cardinals come up and go down 1-2-3. Top of the third, Liberatore gets in a little bit of trouble again. Harper gets a single and then he steals second base, but he's able to get the next 2 down on strikes. Bottom of the third, Walker gets a single. Pozo popped out. Then Scott gets a single, but Wheeler gets the next 2 outs, ending the inning. Top of the fourth is a 1-2-3. Bottom of the fourth sees the first scoring of the game, and it's on a Wilson Contreras home run. And I think this marks the point to where he's going to start breaking out and playing better. I think we can all say that Wilson Contreras is back, and it's great to have him back. I mean, what he adds to this team power wise is beneficial, and we've been hitting the ball. I mean, we're one of the best offenses in the game right now with him and Wynn not playing well. I mean, think about it. If we can get both of them to go once Wynn gets back, I mean, the Cardinals are going to be unstoppable. Gorman walks, Jordan Walker strikes out, and then Gorman tries to steal second, but gets picked off, ending the inning. Top of the fifth, Phillies come up and go down 1-2-3. Bottom of the fifth, same with the Cardinals. Pozo strikes out, and then Newbar and Scott fly out. Top of the sixth inning, again, 1-2-3 inning reliever tour with 2 strikeouts in the inning. Bottom of the sixth, Burleson grounds out, but then Donovan hits a ground rule double, and Arenado doubles, scoring Brendan Donovan, making 3-0. Contreras then lines out, and then Gorman hits a ground rule double, scoring Arenado, making it 4-0. Jordan Walker then flies out to left field. It's the top of the seventh. Masyn replaced Liberatore and gets a 1-2-3 inning. And Phil Masyn has been lights out for the Cardinals this season. Just a real anchor. I think him, Leahy, and Helsley perfectly set up the seventh, eighth, and ninth. Matt Strom comes in for Wheeler in the bottom of the seventh and immediately lets it loose for the Cardinals. Pozo gets a ground rule double. Scott gets a sorry. Pozo hits a ground rule double. Scott hits a sacrifice bunt. Pozo goes to third, and Scott makes it to first. Strom pitches a wild pitch, and Scott goes to second, making it 5-0. Newbar strikes out, and Baker gets called out on strikes, and then Donovan goes down on strikes, ending the inning. Top of the eighth, it's a 1-2-3 inning for the Phillies from Jojo Romero. In the eighth, Hernandez comes in for Strom. Wilson Contreras gets a double. So again, looking way better than he has, and he's been thinking that to the torpedo bats that he had come in. Gorman flew out, but Walker hits a 2-run home run, making it 7-0. And Pozo lines out, ending the inning. Top of the ninth, Leahy comes in and shuts the door. Cardinals win the game, 7-0. It was a complete win for the Cardinals. Got some offense, got some defense, got some good pitching, and it was a great way to cap off a series win against the Phillies. A series win that nobody probably could foresee. Later on, after the game, Contreras talks to the media and has a couple words for Cardinals fans. So after the game, Contreras was pleading for Cardinal fans to come rally around the Cardinals. He's quoted as saying, "Don't stop believing in this team because we have everything in this clubhouse to compete." And I don't think there's that much disconnect because Contreras was the first one to ask the ownership and front office to go out and get some pieces to help them win. So he knows that they needed pieces and that the ownership obviously didn't do it, so they're reluctant to do it. And that's kind of what it boils down to. It's not necessarily that the fans are mad at the player or the players themselves. They just don't want to invest in a team that isn't going to invest in themselves. I'm all for them playing to the best of their ability, but this year is to make a point that ownership needs to take this seriously. Contreras tried to remind Cardinal fans if the way they take out their frustration with Cardinals is by not showing up to games, it hurts the players a lot as well. And I think for the most part, the fans get that. But at the same time, how else are we supposed to make our voices heard and get this ownership to do something about the poor state of the team? Contreras is my favorite player on this Cardinals team. He wants to be here. He loves it here. He's like the epitome of what you want out of a Cardinal. He fights for his teammates. He fights for his team. And I'm glad he's on this team. With that, I'm going to wrap this episode up. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. All of that will mean a lot to me. And follow me on my X. Otherwise, we'll see you in the next episode. Peace out.